Today, we have a truly inspiring guest, Michelle Farrell, also known as Michelle. She has a book and she goes by ML Farrell. She's a cancer survivor, a faith driven storyteller, and a firm believer in embracing every moment life has to offer. After facing some of life's toughest battles, Michelle emerged with a renewed perspective, choosing to find joy in the little things. Whether it's tacos on a Tuesday, getting lost in an epic fantasy, or singing her heart out to Taylor Swift. With a heart rooted in gratitude and a deep love for God, Michelle channels her experiences into writing stories that uplift, inspire, and remind us that life isn't about striving for perfection. It's about embracing the beauty, the mess, and the laughter along the way. Join us as we dive into her journey of resilience, faith, and the pursuit of joy. Get ready for a conversation filled with hope, humor, and the courage to live authentically. Welcome to Divine Time, Michelle.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. I feel like this conversation is so long overdue for us.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like we've been communicating and trying to get this on the schedule for like what
We
a week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have, but I
mm,
mean everything happens in divine time. So I mean when it's
that's
supposed to
true.
happen, it happens perfectly. I mean,
Hmm.
you stated as well, you strive not to move everything in perfection, right?
Right, absolutely.
So I mean, you already know the only way to be perfect is to be exactly like who? And that's
Hmm.
impossible. So
Exactly.
I mean, we did the best that we can, and when it comes down to it, all worked out in divine time. It all worked out perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, this is a perfect day for like I needed things to do. My husband is I'm sending him to a concert with his
Hmm.
best friend. It was his Valentine's Day gift. So it's like
Aww.
I know, I love that man. But it's not about him today. It's about me. It's about me today. And
He's gonna have his chance. He's gonna have his chance.
yeah, I mean, he's a spotlight guy, my husband.
Hey.
He's
See,
amazing.
I love to hear that because in this day and age, you hear a lot about that toxic love and the way that people act with it. You don't hear very many people speaking and uplifting their partners in a relationship. They are so quick to point out the flaws, never really the good things. So I appreciate you for saying that. So when you get a chance, give him a hug and tell him I said, yes, sir. All right.
I'll let him know. It's amazing because this time last year we were inviting God into our marriage,
Mm-hmm.
and this is very relevant to my recent book because my most recent book was kind of based on our love and our finding our way back to each other after we put God into our marriage because he didn't go to church or anything. He didn't have a relationship with God. And we realized at one point, like, this marriage is not going to work. We're not equally yoked. Like, you either need to find God and we need to invite him into our home, or we can't be together. And I think that I'm really happy it happened early in the marriage so that we can build stronger because so many people face that and it's been 10 or 15 years of a marriage where two people are really unhappy, and so I'm really glad that we found it early and we nipped that in the bud.
I'm glad to hear that because I
Thank
was
you.
married once before the wonderful woman I have right now, and I'm not going to say anything negative about her because we both were young, we both were growing. There was
Hmm.
things that I was lacking, things she was lacking. We had a difficult time being able to love each other the way that we each needed to be loved.
That makes sense. that
So I
that
mean,
100% makes sense.
yeah, and with that, I got to give it to her. She was a lot further in maturity than I was. Like
I think that's a
she was operating how I'm operating now at the time when we were 21. And
See,
I'm 35 now. So I mean, she had everything. She was already in the mindset of having children and having everything established, and I was still trying to get there, you know?
yeah.
So with me, it was like I need to live life and have these experiences, get these things out of the way and plan for the future, while she was like, okay, cool. I guess the way that you can say of like manifestation is like you're faking it till you make it, as if you already have it all. And that's how she was, where it's like, okay, cool. I don't need to go out and do all these things. I don't need to go out and vacation all the time and stuff, because this is what I want to do. And the person that I love is the person that I want to be with all the time. And I was still active duty in the military. I was gone
Um,
majority of the time, so it was like
mhm.
she was always upset about that because it's like I was always gone and she always wanted to be with me. So when I came home, I wanted to sleep, but you want to constantly be up under me, and I'm like, look, I've been up under people all the time, but let's talk about you. Tell me a little bit about your book.
Oh my gosh. So my most recent book is called Love Can't Be Measured. And
Ooh,
it's about a woman. Her name is McKenna, and she's a blind author. And her book, ironically called Love Can't Be Measured, of course, just made it to the New York Times bestseller list. And when she's leaving her very first book signing event, she gets hit by a car and she ends up in a coma for 10 days. And when she wakes up, she doesn't remember the last 5 years of her life. And she doesn't remember her husband, the life that they're building together, or that she's pregnant. Like she wakes up and in her mind, she's still with her ex. And she has to figure it out. Like it's part love story because you get to see McKenna and her husband fight past what they're going through to try to find their way back to each other, and part a story of growth because she's already living life as a woman who's legally blind, and now she
yeah,
has this amnesia on top of this, and she's like, this is so hard. Like, what am I supposed to do? um and then of course when you read the book you find out what happens to the baby because
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna
Okay, all
spoil
right,
it,
cool,
but
cool, cool, cool.
I'm not gonna spoil it. But yeah, you know, she still got a whole baby in there that you got to figure out what happens to the baby, and so it was really raw. And what I did for this book was I asked my friends and family to write me letters, as if
Oh
I were the
wow.
one in a coma.
Uh huh.
And so McKenna, to figure out who she is, she starts reading these letters from people who love her and thinking back to all the stories they're sharing and all these things. So throughout the book, there are letters that
Yes,
the character reads who are, and they're from my actual friends and family.
that is dope. How did
Yeah.
Oh man. Quick question. So
Mhm.
everything that we not everything, but the books that we talk about, is that going to be are those links in your link tree as well that I'm going to put in the show notes?
Yes. There's
Okay.
a link.
All right.
There's a book, a link for each book, and
Mm-hmm.
this book actually has a playlist. So each chapter heading has a different
Ooh,
song, and so you get about like a 50 song playlist along with the book.
that is dope.
And
I've never heard of anybody doing something like that. You might be the first of your kind.
I'm gonna be
Hey,
a black unicorn. Hey.
hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what's
um.
up. Go ahead.
Oh, you were gonna ask me how I came up with the idea? Is that what you're gonna ask?
I was actually going to ask you, walk me through your life story, and so walk me through your life story, everything that has happened to you. um let's, you know what, be the author that you are.
Okay.
I'm feel like that because I write a little bit too, and I know how, for me, I put emotion into the things that I say. I paint a picture when I speak to people so that
I
way they
see.
can see it and feel it. So I want you
Mhm.
to walk me through your life story all the way up to being an author, and express the emotion you felt when you published your first book.
Oh my goodness, man, how much
Yeah,
time do
like,
you have?
oh, oh, sugar dumpling, we got as much time as you want. I can turn this into a
Okay.
series. It's fine.
Okay. So funnily enough, I was born, I'm a Midwest girl. I live in Indiana. I haven't always lived here. There's a period of time that I lived in Arkansas, but we're starting from the beginning. So I live in Indiana and I was born during a blizzard and my mom didn't know she was pregnant with me until I was born. Like she had regular menstruation, everything, and then boom, baby. Um, so I was definitely a surprise. And I am a Capricorn, so I'm an ambitious overachiever. Uh, but around
You
nine
said it,
months
not me.
about 9 months into my life, my grandmother realized that I wasn't seeing like my brother and my cousin. And she was saying that I would crawl around and I would be looking at stuff and I would look at it really hard. And so they realized that something was wrong with my eyes. And so they took me in at my very first ever surgery. And it was an eye surgery to remove cataracts that I inherited from my father. And so at 9 months old, I had my very first surgery and my very first pair of glasses. And there's a baby picture floating around the universe with those glasses. And I really wanted to die, but I'm pretty sure it's on the internet. Um, so that's a thing. And after after that surgery, oh no, hold on. Did I lose you?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, good. Sorry. My
I just
husband
mute my
came to
mic so
tell
there's
me
no
bye.
noise, no noise coming from my side.
Okay, sorry. So after that surgery, my growth was okay. I lived the normal life of a child. I played outside, I ran, it was fantastic. But when I was about 5 years old, my mother sent me to go live with my grandfather so she could finish nursing school. And I was enrolled in school and I was in a place that was really unfamiliar to me. And I started feeling very sick. And my grandfather was a very hard man to like. Um, and so when I would tell the school that I wasn't feeling well, he didn't believe me. And for about a week and a half, it got treated like separation anxiety. Like she's just upset because she's not with her mom. Well, the nurse finally sent me home one day and she told my grandfather, you either take her to the hospital or I'm gonna have to call the authorities. Like she comes to the nurse's office every day with a fever. Something is wrong with this child.
Hey, beautiful souls. If you love deep conversations about life, love, and spiritual growth, help us reach more like minded people. Like, comment, and share to push these powerful episodes through the algorithm. Let's build a community that thrives on wisdom and connection. Find us everywhere: YouTube at Danley_Divine, Facebook and Kick at Divine Time Podcast, and also follow the blog, divinetime.blog. If you're looking for your soul tribe, join our Telegram group, Warriors of Love. Together we rise. Divine time is now.